Well, Pip?
Stella, this is an unexpected pleasure. I didn't think to find you here.
You two must have a lot to say to each other. Go out into the garden, both of you, and walk and talk together.
I must have been a strange little creature to hide and watch you fight that day. But I did, and I enjoyed it very much.
You rewarded me very much.
Did I?
Don't you remember?
I remember I entertained a great objection to your opponent. I took it ill that he should be brought here to pester me with his company.
He and I are great friends now.
Are you? I imagine that since your change of fortune, you have naturally changed your companions.
Oh, yes, naturally. Do you remember the first time I came here? The time you made me cry?
Did I? I don't remember.
Not remember you made me cry?
You meant nothing to me. Why should I remember? You must know, Pip, I have no heart. Perhaps that's why I have no memory.
No one looking at you could believe that.
Oh, I have a heart to be stabbed at or shot at, but you know what I mean. There's no sympathy there, no softness, no sentiment. If we're to be thrown much together, you had better believe that at once.
I can't believe it, Estella.
Very well. It's said at any rate. But remember how I've been brought up, and don't expect too much of me. Come, Pip. You shall not shed tears for my cruelty today. We'll go just once more round the garden and then go in. Miss Havisham will be expecting you at your old post.
Is she beautiful? Graceful, well-grown? Do you admire her, Pip?
Everyone must who sees her, Miss Havisham.
She is going to London soon, and you shall meet her there.
I shall be the happiest man in London, Miss Havisham.
Love her. If she favors you, love her. If she tears your heart to pieces, love her. I adopted her to be loved. I developed her into... as punctual as ever, Jaggers.
As punctual as ever. How do you do, Pip? And what are you doing here?
Miss Havisham wished me to see Estella, Mr. Jaggers.
Ah, a fine young lady. Shall I give you a ride, Miss Havisham? Once round? A very fine young lady, Pip.
Estella.
Pip!
How nice to see you, Estella.
My lesson from Miss Havisham is this. There are two Richmonds, one in Surrey and one in Yorkshire. Mine is the Surrey Richmond. The distance is 10 miles. I am to have a carriage and you're to take me there. Here is my purse.
No, no.
No, you must take it. We are not free to follow our own devices, you and I.
The carriage is ordered for half an hour from now, and tea is ordered to while away that half hour. Does that please my lady?
The tea will please her greatly.
Why are you going to Richmond, Estella?
I'm going to live at a great expense with a lady there who has the power, or says she has, of taking me about and introducing me and showing people to me and showing me to people.
You'll have a gay time and be much admired. You must look forward to that, Estella.
It's part of Miss Havisham's plan for me, Pip. I shan't take any great pleasure in events which I don't shape, but I shall be beautiful, and I shall be gay, I shall be obedient, and I shall write regularly of my gaiety.
Will you always be part of Miss Havisham's plan, Estella?
And do you thrive with Mr. Pocket, Pip?
Yes, indeed. We've left Barnard's Inn and moved to the Temple.
Oh?
I live quite pleasantly there. At least.
At least?
As pleasantly as I could anywhere. Away from you. All through that summer, I saw a great deal of Estella, and I was very happy. Until I realized, somewhat uncomfortably, that she had many admirers. It was not until the winter that fate threw her in the way of Bentley Drummle. Tired, Estella?
Rather, Pip.
You should be.
Say rather I should not be. For I still have my letter to Miss Havisham to write before I go to bed.
Recounting tonight's triumph. Surely a very poor one, Estella.
I don't know what you mean. I didn't know there'd been any.
My lords, ladies, and gentlemen,
This is our dance, Estella.
pray take your places for the next dance.
Estella, look at Drummle. He never takes his eyes off you.
Why should I look at him? Is there anything in Drummle I need to look at?
That's what I want to ask you. He's been hovering about you for weeks.
Moths and all sorts of ugly creatures hover about a lighted candle. Can the candle help it?
My lords, ladies, and gentlemen, pray take your partners for the Spanish polka.
Everybody dislikes him, you must know that. There's nothing to recommend him but money and a ridiculous row of addle-headed ancestors. It makes me wretched to see you encourage him.
Does it?
You give him looks and smiles such as you never give to me.
Do you want me then to deceive and entrap you?
Do you deceive and entrap him, Estella?
Yes, and many others. All of them but you.
Who do you want?
Mr. Pip.
I'm Mr. Pip. What's your business?
My business? Ah, yes, I'll explain my business by your leave.
Do you wish to come in?
Yes, I wish to come in, master.
Now perhaps you will explain your visit.
It's disappointing to a man after having looked forward so distant and come so far. Oh, but you're not to blame for that.
What do you mean?
I'll speak in half a minute. Give me half a minute, please. There's no one eye, is there?
Why do you ask that question?
You're a gayman. I'm glad you growed up a gayman.
Now I know who you are. The churchyard. The churchyard on the marshes. You're the convict I gave the food to.
You acted nobly, my boy. Noble, Pip, and I've never forgot it.
If you're grateful to me for what I did when I was a child and you've come to thank me for it, there's no need. However, since you've found me out, will you drink something before you go?
Yes, I will drink, I thank you, before I go.
I hope you won't think that I spoke harshly to you just now. I had no intention of doing it, and I'm very sorry for it if I did. I wish you well and happy. How have you been living?
I've been a sheep farmer, away in the New World, in New South Wales.
I hope you've done well.
I've done wonderful well. I'm famous for it.
Oh, I'm very glad to hear it.
I hope to hear you say so, dear boy. But you've done well too, eh?
Yes, I've done quite well.
May I make so bold as to ask how you've done well since you and me was out in those lone, shivering marshes?
How?
Oh.
Yes, I've been chosen to succeed to some property.
Might a mere varmint ask what property?
I don't know.
Might a mere varmint ask whose property?
I don't know.
Could I make a guess, I wonder, at your income since you come of age? As to the first figure now. 5? Concerning a guardian. There ought to be a guardian or such like when you were a minor. Some lawyer, maybe. As to the first letter of that lawyer's name now. Would it be J? As the employer of that lawyer whose name began with J and might be Jaggers. I wrote from Portsmouth to a person in London for particulars of your address. That person's name? Why, Wemmick. Yes, Pip, dear boy, I made a gentleman of you. It was me who'd done it. I swore that time that as sure as I earned a guinea, that guinea would go to you. And that there hunted dog what you kept life in got his head so high that he made a gentleman. And Pip, you're him.